Hi guys, my name is Kasai McCoy. Welcome back to our show, A Senior Moment.
Yes, and my name is Ernest Shakir. Originally, my name was Ernest Wiggins, but I changed my name from Wiggins to Shakir because I believe that Wiggins was my slave master's name. See, we came in, when we was freed from slavery, how many ever people, black people, was on the white man's plantation, we left his plantation as whatever his name was. Right. And my slave master's name was Wiggins, but after learning about names, then I chose a good name. And they say a good name is worth more than silver and gold, a good name. And Shakir is my name right now, is Shakir, meaning one who is thankful and who give thanks. That's the meaning of it. But Wiggins, it has no meaning. It's just Wiggins. When the white man named us, whatever his name was, he named some names. He had Roundtree, some green, some brown. So those are slave masters' names. But our names, originally, we have the names of righteous people, which is Shakir, Akbar, Muhammad. Those are our names. And one day, maybe all of us going to learn this, and we'll go back to our original names, which are the names of God, following God's name. Because those names, he is the slave master's name. And we don't want to be named after the slave master. And we are great people. Instead of having this slave master's name, we have God's name, which has a great meaning to it. And I want to just explain that to the people, and there's much more to what I am saying, but I'm just giving you a brief synopsis of what we have gone through and what we have done.
Beautiful. I love it. Well, thank you for sharing that with us.
Yes, sir. You're quite welcome, and there's much more to what I'm saying than it is, but this is kind of a surprise, to come before on the camera. I said, gee whiz, I don't know whether I qualify for this or not, but praise be to the Creator. Whatever is for us, we're going to get it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, the only qualification is being a living legend, and you got that checked off.
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Shakir, can you share with us your age?
My age? Oh, yes. I was born in 1933.
So
April
let's do the math on that. What is that?
April the 33, 1933, April the 11th. I was born in Statesboro, Georgia, and I came to New Jersey in 1953. And when I came to New Jersey, and I came here and I worked here with a place in Dunellen. It's called Arho and Company. It was a foundry, they made different types of cores and whatnot. And I worked there for maybe not even a year. And after working there, I was drafted into the U.S. Army.
Oh, wow.
And I drafted into the U.S. Army in 1954. And I stayed in there for 2 years, 1954, and I came out in January 1954, I went in. In January 1956, I came out and I came back to New Jersey. And I've been here ever since. And when I came to New Jersey, I didn't know anything about body work. But somehow, when I got laid off from the factory, I decided I wanted to get me a trade. And I was disencouraged many times by many people, you're not making no money. And at that time, I was only making on the job at Arho and Company, we was making about $55 a week.
Wow.
And we worked there. And then when I got laid off, I was working for this body shop. He was paying me $25, and I was drawing my unemployment, which was another $25, and I was making about the same thing as I was on the job. And but we made it. God blessed me to get married. I got married, I think it was 57, I believe, got married. And then we had 3 beautiful children, 1 girl and 2 boys. And I think Almighty Allah, we call God Allah, because Allah, when we say Allah, we are talking about the creator of the heavens and the earth. Many people say Jesus is God. Many maybe say Moses. Many things, but when we say Allah, we're talking about the creator of everything above the earth, in the earth, and between the earth. That's who we're talking about when we say Allah. We're not talking about no man on the earth. And God is not a man. We worship God, but we worship him in spirit, not as a man. But anyway, there's a lot of things that we should say, and maybe we will get into before the program is over with. But I'm thankful to Almighty that he has blessed me to live 89 years.
Wow, that's incredible.
89 years.
That's incredible.
And I'm still here.
Yes,
you know, so but I don't know how much longer I'm going to be here, but I'm here now. So.
None of us know.
So, but I'm thankful. I'm thankful, and I'm thankful. I'm thankful. Yes, so thank you.
Well, that was beautiful. So can you share with our audience how we get to your age? How do we get to 89?
Well, now, just living and trying to do the right thing, I think it will carry us a long way. Right. And that's what I have tried to do all my life. I've never been an alcoholic. I never had been drunk in my life. I'm 89 years old, and I tasted it, but I said, no, I don't want that. That's not for me. I never had a reefer in my mouth in my life. And I'm 89 years old, and I'm thankful to Almighty God. And I think that's part of my longevity is trying to do and thinking the right way. If you try to think good, then good comes to you when you think good. And but when you're thinking of evil, then evil is coming to you. But I'm thankful, and I appreciate everything that everybody have done for me. I don't try to be proud and arrogant. I always tried to be humble. In public and wherever I am, I try to be humble, and I love people. I love people.
Well, it sounds like we got a lot in common. And with that being said, can you speak on your entrepreneurship a little bit?
Well, yeah, the entrepreneur. I worked for this guy in the body shop when I learned the trade. Okay, and once I learned it, after about 10 years, I was with him. And I decided I want to go in business myself. So I told him, I said, his name was Mr. Martin. I said, Mr. Martin, I think I'm going to go into business for myself. He said, well, if you think you can make it, it's okay. And I said, I always like to be fair with people. I says, now, I know that I have made friends with many of your customers. I know that. We love each other, and I work for them, and they love my work. And if I set up shop next to you, right down the street, then I'm going to take your customer. I said, I know that. But I said, what I'm going to do, I'm going into another city and set up my shop. But if they want to come there, then that's on them. That's on them. You know, I can't stop them from coming.
Exactly.
You know, and I say, well,
that was nice of you.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And otherwise, I try to be fair with people. That's the main thing. And I try to be just, and I try to treat them like I want to be treated. And I went to this place. There's a Chrysler dealer in Westfield. His name was Augustine Motor. He had a Chrysler dealer, and he had a little shop in the back of his place. He says, I asked him, 'cause I wanted to rent it. He says, yes, Mr. He called me Wiggins at that time. I was Wiggins. He said, I'll rent it to you. And he rented it to me. He said, because I have cars, new cars, coming in off of the trucks, and sometimes they get scratches, you know, little dents, and you can do my work as well as, you know, your own work. I said, yeah, good. So I went with Mr. Augustine Motors for about 3 years. And his business grew so big until he come to me and he said, Mr. Wiggins, he said, I'm not going to kick you out, but I would appreciate it if you could find someplace else, because my business is so big now, I need every inch of the space that I got to do. He said, but I'm not going to kick you out if you can find someplace. So at that time, there was a guy in Piscataway. His name was Al Holton. He had a big shop hold about 20 cars. And I went to him because one of my friends recommended, he said, go to him, he might rent you part of his shop. And I went to Al and I told him, I said, I'd like to rent, you got some space, I would like to rent part of it if I can. He said, oh yeah, you just what I've been looking for. He said, I want somebody, I'll take this half, you take that half, you pay half of the rent, I pay half of the rent, I split everything down the middle, otherwise that's what he said. And I said, okay, that's fine. But I like to be fair, I told Al, I said, Al, look, I know it's really rough trying to have two of the same type of businesses. It can be confusing, and the business and the same type of businesses. Right. And I said, what I'm going to do, I said, any customer that come to this shop, if they don't call for me, then that's your customer.
Okay.
But if they come here and say, I'd like to speak to Mr. Wiggins, okay, well, I told them to come here. I invited them. So that would be my customer. But if he don't say, ask for me, that's your customer. He said, that's fair enough.
Yeah, that is.
And he says, now if I have more work than I can do and you want to help me and you have more than I do, I said, that's fair enough. We'll do that. And I worked with him for about 4 years, I guess around 4 years. And after about 4 years, he was much older, a little older than me. And I could see that he was becoming a little jealous. I could see that.
Yeah,
so I had customers coming from Newark, East Orange, all coming over here because I had become Muslim at that time.
Okay.
And then I had all of the brothers would come from over there, over here. And one day I had the Minister James Shabab. He came over and with a few of the brothers, and we talked for a good while. And when they left, he come over to my helper, the guy that I'm renting from. He came over, Mr. Wiggins, you don't even introduce me to your friends. I said, I didn't know I had to introduce you to my friends. These are my customers. I don't have to introduce you.
Exactly.
Well, I thought you should introduce me. See, so I see that with jealousy. You know, he was becoming a little jealous.
To his feelings a little bit.
Yeah, I could feel it. So then after that, I started looking for another place.
You were on the move.
On the move, yeah.
All over the map.
All over the map, that's right. So after I looked, I found another place on 2nd Street in Plainfield, right across the street from where I am now. It was a little shop in the back of a house. And I rented that off of them for about 4 years, another 4 years. And they wanted to sell it. But I said, I can't afford it. He said, yes, you. He said, no. He said, I said, he want to sell it. I said, no, I can't afford it. So he sold the house to somebody else, sold the shop to somebody else. But they told me the same thing. We're not gonna kick you out, but you know, we bought the property for the house, not the shop.
Okay.
I said, okay, good. So I worked there another year or so, and then they decided they want the shop. And they said, if you can find some place, I appreciate it. Yeah.
Putting you all over.
I appreciate it. So I said, okay, and I went looking for another place. And then I found the place where I am now. My shop is right now. I found this place.
Is that the one that sits on the corner?
Right on the corner. Okay. Right on the corner. That's what was my place. That's where I found. And I worked with this guy for about 5 or 6 years. And then he come to me, he said, Mr. Wiggins, I want to sell the building. I want to sell it. Do you want to buy it? I said, I can't afford it. He said, yes, you can. If you want it, you can afford it because we're going to help you buy that. I said, we're going to help you. I said, well, how are you going to help me? He said, what we're going to do, we're going to let you stay here for 5 years and we're going to give you a balloon mortgage. For 5 years, pay the same rent you're paying now, everything, just like you're doing it. But after the 5 years now, we want you to go to the bank and borrow the balance of what you own the building, and then you then pay us out, and then it'll be your building.
Nice.
And that's exactly what happened. I went to the bank and I borrowed the balance of the money, and I paid them out, and the building became my building.
Wow.
And today it's still my building. I'm selling it though. I'm getting rid of it within the next month or so. I hope to have my money in my hand for the building.
I know that's right.
So we thank God. God has been good to us, good to me. He's been good.
To have people to help you along.
Yes, sir. Everybody would get more. They helped me.
Right.
So I said the same thing. Whatever I get, I'm going to help somebody else with it. I'm not going to be selfish.
So you're retiring.
Yeah, I'm retired. I'm retired now.
You're retired now, okay. Well, how long were you in business?
I was in business.
Up until this point?
Altogether, it's been about 45 years.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yes, about 45 years I was
Congratulations.
in business.
That's
And I learned a lot of things, and I met a lot of people, and a lot of them became friends, and a lot of them maybe became enemies. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
But
it'd be
that's
like
business.
that too. Yeah,
That's business, you know. Anytime any person is in business, there's always going to be somebody shooting at you, so to speak.
Yeah.
If you're in business, everybody ain't going to love you.
Exactly. That's true. That's
Yes,
true.
sir. But anyway, I'm thankful. Yes, sir, I'm thankful.
Well, yeah, I always saw the name Wiggins Autobody as I traveled throughout.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
And I
Glad
could
to
have
meet the man
changed.
behind it.
See, I could have changed the name to Shakir, but I say I leave it because everybody
already
know
know
it
that.
as
Exactly.
Wiggins. I just leave it as
Right.
Wiggins.
And how long has it been since you changed your name?
Oh, I just been about, I guess, 40 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah, about 40 years I changed my name. And it's legal. I changed it legal. I didn't just go around the corner and say, I'm Shakir.
This is my new name.
I put it read it in writing this in all this in Elizabeth and Trenton everywhere.
It's in the books.
In the books. That's
All right,
correct.
yeah.
That's correct. And some people say, you don't like your father's name? Yes, I'm my father. I had
not
nothing
about
against
that.
my father.
Right.
That's not about that.
Right.
I'm about trying to improve, trying to do better,
And
trying
you
to do.
educate others by doing that.
That's correct. That's correct.
Now, I heard something about your influence with the masjid. Can you tell us briefly about that?
Yeah, see, I came into the masjid in Islam in about 1961. 1961, I joined the Nation of Islam, it was called at that time. It wasn't the real Islam, but the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he was our leader and teacher at that time. And he said, it's not my job to teach you the religion. He said, my job is to get you out of the mud. And he said, once I get you out, help get you out of the mud, he said, the one come after me, he's going to teach you the Quran. And that's exactly what happened. He said, I want you to stop smoking. I want you to stop drinking liquor. I want you to stop chasing all the pretty girls. I don't want to get you off of that dope you're on or whatever you're on. You're going to stop that.
Right.
And then once you we clean yourself up, we clean ourselves up, then he said, the one come after me, he's going to teach you the Quran, the religion.
You gotta get your mind right first.
And that's exactly what happened. He taught us, started teaching us. The Prophet Muhammad, may the peace and blessings of Allah forever be upon him. He is the prophet that God missioned to do this job. But we thought that Elijah was the prophet. We say, Prophet Elijah Muhammad, he's the messenger of God. That wasn't really the truth, but we believed it at that time. But as time goes, you learn.
More knowledge, exactly.
And see, at the white man, the Caucasian, at that time, we didn't let no Caucasian in our temple. No Caucasian was allowed, because we called him the devil. See, that's what we called the white man, the devil, and said the black man is God. But after learning Islam, that's not true. He said there's some black devils and there's some white devils.
They come in all colors.
They come in all colors. So we, after we started learning better, we started doing better. And when I came into the Nation of Islam, I'm actually the only one that's still in the masjid that started from day one. I'm the only one that's alive now, that's never left. Now there's a couple of people that's here, but they fell out, but they still sympathizing. But I'm the only one that never left from the day one.
You loyal.
And I always said the race wasn't designed for the swiftness nor the fastest, but it's the one who can endure to the end. I said, that's what I'm trying to do, go to the end. So I thank God. I thank God for all of my brothers and sisters. I thank God for everybody. I tell my son sometimes, I thank God even for the bad men, because one day they may change their mind. But thank God, thank Allah.
Well, that's beautiful. Well, do you have anything to share with your family, your friends, anything to
Well, I say, my friend, our imam, we have the leader in our community is called the imam. In the church, they call him the bishop, they call him the pastor, they call him the reverend, many things, but we call him the imam, and it only means leader. That's what it means, a leader.
Okay.
And he is Imam Khalil. He's our leader in the masjid now, and we had others, but they retired and whatnot. And but we still there, and we are growing, and we thank God for all of the brothers and the sisters that's in the masjid. And like I said, I thank for everybody.
Right.
So, but anyway.
What about the generations that's coming up? Any advice? Anything you would like
Well,
to share
to
with
the
them?
generations, I would say that's coming up, try and think and do the right thing in your life. Try to do the right thing. I know we're going to make mistakes. None of us are perfect.
Right.
But this is why we pray, because we ask God to forgive us for the wrong that we done unintentionally. Sometimes maybe you do something intentionally, you know, but thank God if he will forgive. And he said it. God said, I'll forgive you. The only thing God said I won't forgive you for is associating anything or anybody with him. He said, I won't forgive you for that. If you say another man is God, and anything is God, God said, I'm not forgiving you for that. But anything, I don't care what else you do in this life, if you ask for forgiveness and don't keep doing it, then he will forgive you. But if you're going to do the same thing over and over again, you're trying. Yeah. But we thank him.
You're like, all right.
Yeah.
Enough is enough.
Yes. But our masjid is here in Plainfield. And everybody is welcome now. At one time, the white man couldn't come in, but he can come in if he wants to.
You're invited.
He's welcome. Yes, sir. And but anyway, we thankful. And as God says, I tell the people sometimes, if you want to be happy, God said there's a way that you can be happy and you will be happy. But there's a price that we have to pay for happiness. You just can't be happy drinking liquor and smoking reefers and things.
You
have to have some sacrifice. And he said, let there arise out of you. He didn't say the Christian, the Jew, the Muslim. He said, let there arise out of you a band of people, inviting to all that is good, enjoining what is right, and forbidding what is wrong. They are the ones to obtain felicity, meaning you'll be happy, you'll be successful, you'll be prosperous, and you'll be free from anxiety. See, when you invite people to all that is good, enjoying what is good, and forbid what is wrong. Now, when we do that, now we'll be happy in this life. But if we out here drinking liquor, and we're supposed to be trying to serve God. Right. And the only way that we can serve God is by trying to please God. Right. See, because God don't need no money. He don't need no woman. He don't need no man. Right. He don't need nothing in his creation. So the only way we can serve him is try to please him. And how do we please him? By serving each other.
There you go.
That's how we please God, by serving each other, because God don't need it. We are the one that need it. Right. So when I help you help me, we help each other, we're serving God.
That's it.
That's the only way, I believe. Now, that's my belief. Now, if somebody else got a better way, then tell me. I'll try to go the better way. But I'm thankful. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, this has been a pleasure spending some time with you. I learned a lot from my time together.
Likewise. It's always good talking with my brothers and my sisters, because we are all brothers and sisters. Right. Some of us may not think so, but the book say all of us was created from Adam. So we're all from Adam. We all brothers and sisters. But the environment. See, I said something a few weeks ago. I had a birthday party. Okay. They had a birthday party. They gave me a birthday party, and we had a wonderful time. And I told them, I says, God say, let there arise out of you a band of people. Oh, I said, no, what did I say? I said, how did I say that? I wanted to say, I said, God, everything Allah created, he created it as Muslim. See, as Muslim. Some people didn't like that. But first we should find out what is Muslim. Muslim is one who submit their whole self to the will of God. If you, I don't care who you are, if you submit to God's will, then you are Muslim, because that's why God created everything to submit to him. But we don't, but the environment that we grew up in, it molds us the way it wants to mold us. Right. That's why we call ourselves Jews, we call ourselves Christian, we call ourselves many things because of the environment that we grew up in. But God created you to worship Him, to serve Him, and that's Muslim. Your will's to submit to God's will. And now that's what Muslim means. That's all it means. It don't mean that you no saint or you so this or you so that.
Right.
As long as you doing the right thing and submitting to what God wants, then you Muslim.
All right. Well, you definitely put my thinking cap on. I got to do some research.
Yes, do. And that's what we're supposed to do. That's why God say thinking benefits people.
Right.
When you think, there's a great benefit. But when you don't think, then most times somebody think for you. It is not for your best interest.
Right.
So you got to think.
You're right. You're right.
You got to think. Think. So I'm thankful. I'm thankful for you. Thankful for your beautiful wife. All of y'all. And I thank you for inviting me down here.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. It's an honor.
I did it. Okay.
Like I said, I know you don't associate with the name, but I've seen it around.
It's okay. It's okay. You know, I'm not gonna get mad if you say Wiggins, and I'm not gonna get mad at it.
No.
But
I
I'm
respect
just
your name change. So
I like
Shakir it is.
right. Yeah, I just like to make it clear what my name is now. You know, but it's okay if you. But you know,
No. Moving forward, Mr. Shakir.
Alhamdulillah.
I understand.
Alhamdulillah. Oh, praise be to Allah. Yeah.
Yep. Well, I mean, we can say bye to the senior moment and give a thumbs up and a wave. And
Okay, thank you for inviting me, and I appreciate you, both of y'all, very much. And I plan to go to Atlanta maybe in the next couple of weeks. And if I do, I'm gonna look y'all up down there.
Come on, call me up when you get down there.
Okay.
My pleasure.
All right.
It's been beautiful.
Yeah, all right.